Let me take this moment to address the speech of Davido in the interview he made earlier, and he was saying certain negative things about Nigeria. And that statement became a little bit controversial on the internet or the social media platform. Now, I believe as an influential figures, artists like Davido carry the immense privilege of being heard across the world. Now, however, with such privilege comes a heavy responsibility, especially when it involves representing one's country on global platforms. Davido's recent remarks in the US, I don't know if it is US interview that he made about not wanting to return to Nigeria due to the state of the economy or government and society, have kind of, in my opinion, sparked significant conversations. And while it's essential to acknowledge and address national challenges, we must always consider the impact of how and where this conversation take place. And I would say to my audience, let us take a few moments to reflect on a critical point. Number one, we need to be able to consider the power of our words. Now, Davido's success, to a large extent, stems from the unwavering support of Nigerians who celebrated his music and cheered him to rise and stood by him through his journey. When such a figure like Davido speaks negatively about his homeland, it risks kind of diminishing the collective pride and hope of those who still dream of a better Nigeria. In every nation, I believe every nation has their own flaws. No country is without its own challenges. From economic disparity to political corruption, issues exist worldwide. But the way citizens speak about their nation, especially on global platforms, also contributes significantly to how the world perceives such a nation. I believe in building, not tearing down. I think criticizing the state of Nigeria without offering solutions or contributions or contributing kind of meaningful to change its unproductive aspect. If artists choose to highlight issues like this, they should do so with purpose by inspiring action, advocating for reform, or using their platform to amplify the voices of the less privileged. The question is, what have Davido's contributed to Nigeria? Davido's music, to me, largely focuses on themes of love, wealth, and celebration. While entertaining, it rarely addresses the systemic issues he now criticizes within the country. If he feels strongly about Nigeria challenges, shouldn't his heart reflect a commitment to driving change, just like Baba Fela did? And I believe, in a way, gratitude also matters. And it is important to remember that despite Nigeria's imperfections, the nation has nurtured talent like Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid, and all these names you hear. Dismissing it entirely kind of disrespect the millions who contributed or who strive to hope for a better tomorrow. Now, let us ask ourselves these questions, my audience. How can an artist inspire global respect for Nigeria while publicly dismissing its value? What message does this particular thing send to the youth who look up to such figures like Davido for hope and motivation? If every Nigerian in a position of influence choose to criticize rather than contribute, what would become of our collective identity in the nearest future? How does Davido's criticism align with his music, which rarely address the present issues he claims to care about? And what would be the impact if instead Davido used his global platform to uplift and advocate for Nigeria in constructive ways? Now, there's an undeniable truth. Constructive criticism can be a tool for change, but it must be paired with responsibility and action. And I believe it is not to point out flaws. True leadership lies in seeking solutions, inspiring others, and representing one's country with dignity, even among challenges. Davido's words, for me, could have been an opportunity to highlight like resilience, call for international partnership, or promote a vision for change. Instead of him making it like we feel dismissive and his statements kind of lack in depth. And I'm not expecting it from someone as influential as him. But in a summary, or let me say in a conclusion, I would say let us challenge ourselves and our influential figures to rethink how we represent Nigeria instead of tarnishing its image. Let us speak with purpose and act with intentions. Every word matters, especially when the world is listening. The question is, we need to also consider that Davido's uncle is also a governor of a state. The question is, what is his uncle doing about that state? How successful is his state, or is the state, since his uncle gets into the position of power? So some people are saying, oh, he's saying the truth about what is going on within the country. On my platform, I have been able to refuse money. I've been able to block a lot of people on WhatsApp who say negative things about Nigeria. A lot of people. If you are from the diaspora, if you are within Nigeria and you keep criticizing, yes, we can criticize it among ourselves, but if you keep saying negative things about the country Nigeria, this is our mother's land. Yes, we have our challenges. Before we even make decisions to point so much fingers on our leaders, I always look at what are we doing collectively to make sure things work. And thank God for people like VDM. VDM talk about the negative things or the challenges we have within the country, and he addresses the person. He addresses the situation rather than addressing the whole society as something. And he at least is being active and proactive on how he supports the people. So with that being said, I believe in my own stance, I condemn the act of Davido's comments about Nigeria on that specific interview. So people might have their opinion, but with every point I think I've laid out, let me know what you think about it, Nigerians. Have a great day. See you in the next one. Adios, amigos.